Hi there, everyone. My name is Maricela, and I am doing a video. I'm going to chronologue my journey. I'm deciding to do like a juice fast. I don't mean like a juice fast. To do a juice fast. I'm thinking maybe I should change my glasses out because these are getting a horrific glare. I mean, I don't really need glasses on since I'm just talking to you, but you know, come on. See, now you can see my eyes. So, yeah, these are my cheap fun glasses. My husband calls them my librarian glasses. He goes, the sexy librarian has arrived. Oh, yes, I have. Anyway, it's good when your husband still thinks you're sexy. Okay, so, I'm going to do I'm starting with a 3-day just because that's what I purchased at the grocery store. But my real inner goal is to go just as long as I can doing a juice fast. And when I say juice fast, I do mean juicing fruits and vegetables, through my only a Hamilton Beach. It's just a cheap one. Sounds like a lawnmower. Sounds like a lawnmower. It's like there's no way you could do a video. I've done videos of me making smoothies in my blender, and that's loud. But if I tried to do a video of me juicing with my Hamilton Beach juicer, it's like, what'd she say? I can't hear her. Why is she talking? I just see her lips moving. Nothing's happening. Anyway, so yeah, you probably won't see me make a juice unless I like set it to different kind of music or something. Okay. Oh, and this is my water. I decided to try, I don't know if I'll continue with this brand, but I decided to try drinking smart water for at least my first 3 days. And I've put, I squeezed a lemon, the juice of a lemon in here. You probably can't see it, but there's like little pulp floating around in there. Anyway, so I know that I need to get up to about half my weight in water. That's going to be really difficult, so I'm going to start slow. Okay. Well, maybe we should cover what my weight is. So my weight is going to be very difficult to measure at home because I don't have a scale that goes up this high. It doesn't go past 330 pounds. I'm currently weighing in at just under 400 pounds. So I'm like, I think the last time I got weighed, I was like 398, 396 region. And at my height, which is only 5'1", it is extremely hard to do anything. It makes me completely breathless almost all day long. Any activity that I do, I'll get up from the couch. Trying to put my socks on. Oh my gosh, trying to put my socks on. No, let's not go there right now. Why I'm going to do the juicing fast. My main why is it's easy. It's easy. You're not having to calculate anything really. I mean, you want to try to get as much juice as possible because of, for caloric intake, right? And I want to be careful that I don't mix things that shouldn't be mixed because they're not going to be good for your system all mixed up together or whatever, right? So I'm looking at recipes that have already been used, things like that. Maybe something like what Joe Cross did with his green bean juice, right? There's a guy here in Houston that I've started looking at that his name is John Rose, and he's been doing this for decades, and I had never heard of him, and I'm like, really? Anyway, so I've started looking at some of the stuff that he's promoting with juice feasting. I've watched countless documentaries, not just on juicing, but just on people being overweight and living with it. Sorry about all the but I'm not, this isn't like a planned speech. So, I would say that, my main reasons are my mobility is way down. my pain is way up, and I'm having a lot of neurological issues as well. I have carpal tunnel. I've been diagnosed with that, and that doctor, my neurologist, wants me to maybe have my fascia cut, which is like here somewhere, like something that connects in there, and she said that if I don't and I continue this way, I'll be like her. So I guess this happened to her, and you know, like she's like, you know, you're trying to carry stuff and you're dropping it because you can't grasp it. Well, I am having issues with trying to grasp things and open them like chip bags. I really can't. My hands don't work like they're supposed to. There's a lot of adaptations that I use to get through my day, and it is not pleasant. And you know, I'm at a point where either I continue going this way and I'm going to die really soon, or, you know, things just aren't going to go my way and then they'll have to put me somewhere where people can take care of me, or I can reverse it without doing anything too drastic. I mean, I guess people would see this as drastic, but I mean, I'm juicing. So I'm going to start out. So I think that's a good reason why, right? So this morning I started out with my first juice. I did the mean green one. So I did, you know, cucumber, celery, kale, ginger, lemon. Aren't those all the ingredients? Apple. Okay. I'm going to do, for cost effectiveness, I'm going to do 2 of those a day right now, and a carrot and apple one. I may end up needing to do 4 just for more, you know, maybe get more calories in. I'm a big girl, so I actually need quite a bit of calories, but I'm also hopeful that in a couple of days, maybe longer, because I didn't do a fruit and vegetable type fast before this, like, you know, cutting out all meat or anything. And dairy. I didn't really do that. So I think that it's going to take a few days of detoxification before I start to feel better. Okay, so like today, I don't know. Today I don't feel so great right now, and I'm already feeling cold because I read that, or I'd heard that when you do a lot of vegetable juicing or fruit and vegetable juicing and you're not eating, you tend to be cold. So I might have to start wearing warm clothes in the summer. Okay, so let's say to document what I'm doing. One thing that I can do, like right now I can't really weigh myself. Now if I go to the doctor, I will share that information with you, because they'll weigh me. I did decide, I saw people do this before, like where they'll take a string, a piece of yarn or whatever, and measure their waist. So I thought, well, let me try that. So I did this, excuse me, about a week ago. And I took the string and I put it around my waist, and I know how to measure my waist, so don't think that I put it in the wrong place. And it's real weird because, like, you know, think about your body. Think about standing up, feeling around your waist. Well, it doesn't feel huge to you, right? No matter what size you are. And even when you look in the mirror, because it's really like the smallest point on your body. So the rest of my body is huge in comparison to me, right? And I don't really think of it being that big. Well, I took this little yarn and I went and I put it all around my body. Okay. And I cut it and I made sure it measured correctly. And then I took the yarn and I'm like, okay, so now what I'm going to end up doing is, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to attach it to my door, the back of my door, so I see it. And then in 30 days, I'm going to do it again. So guess how long this is? How long do you think my waist is? Like, how wide around is my waist? Do you know that this string is as tall as I am? That's right. I've measured myself and known numbers many times, okay? Many times. And I have never, ever thought about it, okay? I've never thought about it. I've seen my waist in the 50s, okay, in 50 inches or whatever. And the string, being as tall as I am, made me think, holy crap, that is super duper horrible. So yeah, you can know all this stuff about yourself and know that you're in a terrible place and you're feeling awful and you're super depressed and, and your world is just not going anywhere great. And you can still find something that makes you go like, oh my God, that's just horrible. Okay, so no more. we're gonna put that out there though. It's gonna be there so I can see it every day because, hey, it's okay. I'm there. It's not like I could say, not gonna get there. I'm there. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, so let's talk about health issues. I do have some key points, okay? Now, we talked about what I started with. I did also get diagnosed with, way back then, PCOS and polycystic ovarian syndrome and hypothyroidism, okay? Now, we kind of let the PCOS go bye-bye after my doctor and I mean, in 2004, I got pregnant with my first child. And before that, I remember I was on medication for depression, and I didn't take that, though, when I was pregnant. I didn't even need it, really. I just stopped taking it, and it wasn't wise to take it while you're pregnant, either. So I just stopped taking it. It was Wellbutrin at the time. Now, the hypothyroidism, my doctor started giving me, first she gave me some free Synthroid because they had all these samples. And then she put me on Synthroid, okay, for, I guess I was doing that for about a decade. Now, sometimes I did it more religiously than, or I should just say more routinely than others. But for the most part, I've been on Synthroid, and then I went, for a very brief time, I was on the pig version. I can't remember what it's called. But she didn't put me on that. I got put on it by another doctor because I wanted to try it. Anyway, so those were like some of the main things, and depression was a big one. Now, I did have knee pain. My left knee. Now, I broke my leg in 2001 or 2002 at work, and I was a heavy gal. I was 200 something pounds, 200 and, I don't know, upper range, 250, maybe a little more. And that was a terrible time. I moved from a second floor apartment to a townhome, and we were sharing the home with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. We were going to share the townhome with them. And I had to spend, my bedroom was going to be upstairs, but I had to spend like a couple of weeks downstairs sleeping on the couch because we just moved and I couldn't get up the stairs. That's just one of the things, like if you're a really big person, breaking a limb is terrible because you've already made adaptations, to do things around your life. If you didn't take the initiative or didn't find the way to lose that weight, and so then you made adaptations to your life, right? So now you got this other wrench thrown in there. Oops, broke a leg. So, hey, yeah. It was not cool. Sorry, my ear squeaks a little. Okay. So I think kind of with that issue, my whole left leg has always had issues since then. And my leg healed fine, no problem, okay, it's fine. But then I started having a lot of trouble with my left knee, and so it's kind of arthritic like now and stuff, so yay. So that was early on, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and let me tell you, I got nausea, I remember, right? And we were living in a small town for that year. Just for that year, we moved to a small town in Texas, and They didn't have a whole lot of places to go, and I was craving some good stuff. So my husband would bring me good stuff all the time. I had sausage, grilled, barbecue sausage, tamales like crazy. I was craving all the time Golden Corral macaroni and Golden Corral rolls. My husband would bring me like a dozen of the rolls and stuff. So, I mean, yes, okay, my husband was an enabler. He still is. He loves me. And, I can't put that on him too much. I should, I guess. But, I mean, when you love someone, you just want to give to them. Okay? And so I can understand the weaknesses. You know what I mean? It's really up to me to figure it out. And I need a team of people around me. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm addicted to sugar and I'm addicted to actual eating for stress. So I've gotten to the point, and I'll tell you right now, I've gotten to the point where I cannot cope with stress. I have to eat. So it's going to be very difficult. And if you're like that, I know you're going to have the same issues. You have to be able to do something else. Okay, and I don't mean turn to drugs or turn to alcohol, because they're the easiest things to turn to, or smoking. Don't do it. Do something else. Even if you never painted before, go get yourself a canvas and some paints, and sit there and do something. Okay, run. Start to walk. Get out and walk. I'm gonna try to do that myself. So, anyway, I'll stop giving you advice since I haven't gotten there yet on this end. So let me continue on with the health issues. And okay, so as things progressed, I got pregnant. I ate too dang much. So when I got pregnant, I was about 285 pounds. By the time I gave birth, which she was, I think, 2 weeks shy, okay, of her due date, I was 350 pounds. Okay, so after I gave birth, I was less, slightly, and then I lost some more. But then I stayed in the 300s. And I stayed in the 300s for years. Okay, so in 2005, I actually ended up having a C-section with her. I didn't expect that. My doctor, told me, hey, she's facing the wrong way. I can't get her to turn around. So we want to do a C-section. So I ended up having a C-section. And so I recovered from that okay. It was really not too big a deal. It was okay. In 2007, I remember I turned 32 that year. And my parents and my husband and everything, we all went to Fridays. I loved Fridays, and I really loved their Jack Daniel's menu, even though I didn't really order off of it that much. But today I was like, it's my birthday, I'm going to get Jack Daniel's ribs. So I got the ribs. They were so good. Right, just delicious. And I went to bed that night, and I remember waking up with like a band of pressure. Like, it was just pressure right here across my chest, and I was just like mortified. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? Am I having a heart attack? What's happening? I didn't even wake up my husband, or I kind of did, and then he was like, what's the matter? And I said, no, maybe it's okay, just go back to bed. And I'm all like, it's okay, I can't sleep. So I think the next day, I went to, I don't know if I went to the doctor, if I went to the ER, probably the ER. I think by then doctors kept telling you, go to the ER if you have a problem. So I don't know what happened exactly, but I found out that I needed to have my gallbladder out because it was inflamed. It was just awful, they said. So I did that. And so that's another surgery I had. And then I grew very depressed by, I think it was summer of 2009. I can't remember how much I weighed. Maybe like 330, or maybe about 330. I had a job where I was kind of like, I had my own office and everything, and so I'd gotten a little bit too sedentary in my, everything. And I was just so depressed, I remember. And I went with my mom and my husband. I think it was just my mom. I don't think my dad was there. And we went to go talk to a surgeon about doing lap band. So, all said, he said I was a great candidate, blah, blah, blah. Yay! I got lap band. Okay. Support with that was not great. The place was like medical center. and I worked way out in Clear Lake, and I had to work till 6, and they only had one meeting a month. They said, you need to come to this meeting for the people that have had this surgery. The meeting was on like a Tuesday or something, Tuesday or Thursday at 6:30, and I'm like, I get off at 6. I work at Clear Lake. I can't get over there. And my boss was not having that. Anyway, so so I didn't really have support with it, and I didn't really have the functioning that I needed to have, the smarts about all of it that I should have. All I really knew about it was what size food you can eat, how you should chew it up, what you shouldn't have. Okay, so I started with the lap band. I lost 60 to 70 pounds, and guess what? That's what they expect you to lose on it. So don't go, it's a tool for people, and they shouldn't suggest it for someone that's like really small, that just has a little bit of weight to get off, but 60 to 70 pounds is the most you'll lose. That still puts me well over 200. Okay, and then I got pregnant. All bets off the window, because I'm just like craving all kinds of delicious stuff, and I couldn't see past what I wanted, okay, to eat. All right, I had to have that stuff, Slightly different than what I had with my first baby. Oh yeah, with my first baby, I had never had mashed potatoes. I hated baked potatoes. I didn't want to try any of that stuff. Well, guess what? With my first baby, I wanted baked potatoes, and I had a bunch. It's just amazing. And she loves potatoes. She's like, oh yeah, I think that's why I love potatoes, because you ate so many, Mom. So anyway, this is a side story. So the issue that I had after I had lap band was that, let's see, I think I had it late July, so August, September, October. So by October, 3 months, okay, I started having this issue. I could chew my food pretty well. I'd start getting food stuck, like right here in my esophagus. In my esophagus. What? I mean, it wasn't like I couldn't swallow it. I could swallow it. But it would get stuck, like right before it could get into the stomach. And I talked to them, and they're like, well, that can be a problem. Yeah. They had me drink the barium stuff. I don't have problems drinking anything, but if I eat something, I could have a problem if I accidentally drink something too soon after. So there is that thing where you're supposed to wait a full, 2 minutes before you drink anything. Sometimes you just have to drink something. They prefer that you drink nothing. Like, they're like, don't drink anything for 30 minutes or whatever. But sometimes that's just not feasible. So I started having that issue. I remember going to the hospital on Halloween. And I mean, I think my husband and I went to a mixer and elixir thing at our local, the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and they had hot dogs or something. So I tried a hot dog. It got stuck. And I was just in pain. And I didn't learn for a little while that, I don't think it was too long, that I had to figure out a way to get it out of my throat. So I had to figure out a way to cough it up. It was really like coughing it up, because, I mean, if you had food in your stomach, you could try to throw up. I really didn't like trying to throw up. It's not something that I like to do. I've got a bit of a sensitive gag reflex now. I never had that before. I mean, I could look at people throwing up all day. It wouldn't bother me. I can't really do stuff like that anymore, or even smells, And in fact, once in a while now, I'll eat something, it goes down perfectly fine, and all of a sudden, my stomach will want to throw it up. And it's different than, you know how it is, right? When you get sick, and all of a sudden you're like, I gotta throw up, It's like that. It happens very infrequently. But when it does, it's a total surprise to me, and I'm having to run for the restroom. So those are weird, but I would say I used to say once a week I have to like go cough up something or try to work something out, or I'm sitting there with it stuck in my throat for a while. But my husband said, no, ma'am, it's like every day. And so it's pretty serious, right? So I went to a gastroenterologist, look at my throat. I talked to my cardiologist about it. And these are all doctors I've got because I'm a neurologist. My neurologist sent me to so many doctors. My PCP. And this year, now this is the first one, I'm sorry, not this year, but this is 2018. But I went to her, I want to say it was late 2016, and I told my PCP, by the way, I'm out of Synthroid, and she's the one that diagnosed me with hypothyroidism. I remember she did a testing. She said, I want to do a blood test on you. And at first, she has not put me back on Synthroid. And my husband told me last month that he learned somewhere that people with hypothyroidism that Synthroid can cause the sticking issue. So they like to tell me that because I had the lap band, I had this issue and it just became prevalent because I had the lap band. But maybe the combination of my medication and the lap band, did something. But I will tell you what, she still hasn't put me back on the medication. She did my testing. She said, it's running a little high. And I went to, I think it was a cardiologist. He was like, why aren't you on your medication? And I said, well, she hasn't put me back on. He goes, you need to talk to her because your numbers are a little high. Well, okay. But now I wonder about, is she worried does she have a concern that it may be affecting it? So anyway, it's something I'll ask her about the next time I see her, because it's just something my husband just told me recently. So the lap band was in 2009, and it's almost like irrelevant because yes, I lost all the weight. I felt really good for a while, and then I had those eating problems, and it made my days so bad because I went from not eating bad foods that were not undesirable at the point to eating them because they were easy to eat. Like, it was actually easy to eat nachos. It was easy to eat chocolate. Okay, now it's not so easy to eat chips, but anyway. So just to say, like, going on a juice cleanse or juice fast like this is hopefully going to be easy because hopefully nothing's going to get stuck in my throat. I want to move ahead to, okay, then I had another C-section in 2011. That was more complicated, a little bit more complicated. She went all the way to term, okay, my second daughter, and we had to have it scheduled, so we went in, and my husband said he thought I was going to die on the table, and I remember having pain in my chest because they were moving things around, and it was really bad, and that's all I remember. I do remember I had to get transfusion, like a lot of blood. They said I lost a lot of blood, so my husband was worried about that, and that was a big deal. I recovered really quickly. I remember getting up right away, almost walking around in the room, and the nurses would say, man, we need to get you in to see some of these other mothers. Like, oh, okay. And a week later, we drove to Louisiana just a week later because my sister had her baby shower. I wanted to be there, and so I had my newborn over there. So that was my first trip out. But I spent the next 4 months, 3 to 4 months, with like huge leg swelling. It was bad. Edema pitting and everything in my legs. It just stayed. It just didn't go away, and I didn't know what to do. But I guess eventually I worked something out because it went away. Now it's back. Okay, how about cognitive issues? For a long time I had fogging, okay, where your brain feels kind of like I don't know, like there's a cloud over your thinking, right? The depression, now coping with things, I've learned to eat so well so that I'm numb to any, effect so much. Now, if it's sadness and things like that, yeah, I'm going to cry, I'm going to be upset. But I also know I can go have a bowl of macaroni and cheese with some, red pepper flakes on it to give it a little spice. Or I can have a chocolate bar. I can have a nacho. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't help at all. So, okay, stress, anxiety. Okay, so I've been having more anxiety type stuff. I've been being more anxious. I've noticed that stress is still there. Like I'll get super stressed, like where I'll get, stiff here, and I carry a lot of my stress right here in my neck and my shoulders. So I get stiff and just feels terrible. And so I know that even thinking that my food stress eating helps, it doesn't help anything. Not just because I get fat, but because it doesn't help. I'm getting pain in places from the same stress or from other types of stress. Oh my gosh, just, I don't know, talking about it made me feel like so stiff in the neck here. Okay, so there's that concentration. I mentioned fog, but also concentration is an issue. I can't budget. I can't do anything that takes real concentration. My brain, it's like it overloads just like that. Like it just fries out and says, oh dude, what are you trying to do? Are you really trying to do that right now? Because I want to go sit and watch TV, or I'm going to go take a nap. Let's go take a nap because this is too much. So that's kind of how the brain feels, okay? And it's extreme. It affected my work way back in 2009, okay? And it all affected my work, and it made it to the point where people were telling me, oh, remember I told you this and I told you that. Well, I didn't have it written down anywhere. And I certainly couldn't remember it when they told it to me. You could sit here and have a conversation with me and I'm not going to remember almost anything you say. Because I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. Ooh, it flew out my brain. I cannot retain the information. And it is got to be my diet. It has to be. So it can't be anything else, so I want to reverse that. Let's talk about all my doctors. Okay. So I have a PCP, my primary care physician. I've seen her for 20 years, at least, maybe. I don't know. Do you get a plaque if you've known them for 20 years? I don't know. She's a great person. I love her, and she's really good, and she's only gotten better. Okay, and but she's a family doctor, so there's only so much that she could do. I saw an endocrinologist once about my thyroid. Didn't like her, didn't go back. I've seen my neurologist. I've met her a long time ago. In fact, I go to this podiatrist, and he's so good. He's so good at his job, and he'd always tell me, he'd be like, well, this isn't your feet, this is your back, and blah, 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 and da, da, da. And so I think the first time I met my neurologist was through him. I can't remember, but for sure, but I think so. And I think he's the reason I went to her again. Well, anyway, the first time, I think I was having a lot of back issues, like convulsions and things like that, and I don't know why. It was around the time, I guess, I had a problem with my feet too, so I ended up going to the neurologist. But this time around, it's because of my tingling in my extremities and numbness. My whole body's starting to go numb, on just all around. So I would like to reverse this. So my neurologist this time, she sent me to an allergist. She sent me to the cardiologist. She sent me to the carpal tunnel doctor. I don't know what they call it, a hand surgeon or something. So they're trying to figure something else out right now. X-rays. I have a lot of issues with my joint and my shoulder. For a little while, we were scared that I had fluid on my lung, but it was the way they'd taken some X-rays at the ER that it looked weird. So I had to go get more X-rays. Anyway, I'm tired of going to doctors, y'all. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And I need to go see a pulmonologist. Oh, I'm just tired. Okay, so the edema and the pitting. It's there pretty much all the time now. So edema, right, it's your swelling of your legs and swelling of extremities type stuff. Well, I have them mostly in my legs. And the pitting is bad. So, like, if I wear a pair of socks too long, then I have this, like, big indentation down there. One thing, too, with the numbness and going more numb, I can't really feel some things. I did hurt myself, though, like, over a week ago on my right side of on my calf, like the top part of the shin, and it still hurts bad. Like, I fell down, and it hurts bad every time it touches something, and you can't see anything on the outer. Like, there's no bruising or anything, so I don't really get that. I'm not really sure, but hopefully that'll go away soon. Okay, so we talked about carpal tunnel. I have shoulder degeneration. It's actually in both shoulders, so I don't know if there's like a deposit, like maybe I have a calcium deposit. I don't know. It doesn't hurt like all the time, but it's like it feels sore. They told me I probably have arthritis in the shoulder. So I have restroom adaptations. I have that I'd love to reverse. I would love to reverse those. I can't always put on my socks by myself. If I sit on my bed, I can do it. But when I remember my husband and I went on a trip last year, and he had to do all of that for me because the bed we were on was way too high. I couldn't do any of that stuff. So, inflammation. Super duper inflammation throughout my body. Okay, so inflammation is definitely a sign that your body is going through something. But to have the chronic inflammation, that's a bad sign. So, and not only that, but the tingling in your extremities and all that, that's a really bad sign too, because, when you have that and you have inflammation, you're actually, damage is being done to your body right then, right? So if it's continual, it's not healing, or it's not able to heal. And sleep adaptation. So I can't remember since when, but probably before I had my second child, so around 2011, before 2010 maybe, I was sleeping at an angle. So I have one of those wedge type pillows that I use. But for the last, we got a newer bed. I want to say it's been 2 months now. I've been sleeping on the couch. So I pretty much sleep in an upright position right now. So it'd be great to get rid of that and be back in my room. That'd be awesome. There's just so many things, so many reasons to actually do the juice fast. I'm sitting here talking to you, and yes, I've been talking for a long time, but my foot is super numb and tingly and hurts. And the last week, or has it been 2 weeks now? I've been getting pains in my feet all the time. I have some right now. They're coming, and they hurt so bad. I'm sitting down. Why do I have pains in my foot? But it's like the bottom of the foot. Let's say this is your, like where the middle or whatever is. And then this whole side, it feels like sharp pain hitting it. And, oh my gosh, it hurts. So, let's try to reverse all of that. I'm going to try that with this juice fast and see how this works. So hopefully it'll work out pretty well. So that was my what and my why. And we'll just try to continue and see how this goes. So right now I feel okay. I feel really tired, which I haven't felt tired like this in the mornings for a while, which is good too. Before I started using, because I use a CPAP machine now too for breathing at night. Before I used that, I would have to take a nap every day. Every day. I just fall asleep. It had gotten so bad. And now with that machine, I don't really have to do that so much. So that's cool. But today I might be feeling a little bit because I haven't eaten. And y'all, I almost grabbed some gummy worms earlier. I was taking some before pictures. No. I was like, I'm reaching for this bag because I see it. My husband left the bag there and I'm reaching for it. And I'm like, whoa. I can't have that. I'm not going to have that. So, And I think it's going to be difficult for a little bit because we've gotten to the point where I don't even think about it. Like, I think at night, God, I really want to lose weight. This is what I need to do. I need to do this. In the mornings, I think this too. I'm like, this is what I should do. This is what I need to eat. Blah, blah, blah. And I walk into the kitchen or I go sit down in the living room and there's a bag of chips right there that somebody left. I pick up the chips. I start eating. I think, well, and then sometimes I'll think while I'm eating them, well, this isn't exactly what I was talking about, but, it's good. And so I was basically at a point where I have absolutely, no control. Like if I was eating, my brain it just wouldn't think about it. And I could think about it after the fact, like, oops, I did this, But I think it's just, it's not really even habit. It's just because you're so addicted to it. It just, just automatically do it. Okay, I think I should be done because I'm pretty sure this is a very long video. I hope you come along on the journey with me. If you'd like to see more videos, hopefully shorter videos, then go ahead and like and subscribe and keep on trekking with me.